One of the greatest mysteries surrounding the tombs of the pharaohs is their mysterious deaths. Why did so many pharaohs die so young? And was there any reason or force behind these deaths? And where did they go after death? Death, in the ancient Egyptians' view, was not an end, but a journey, a transition from this world to another, the world of eternity. But why did they have this view? What prompted them to believe that life continued after death? One of the main reasons why the ancient Egyptians viewed death as a journey was because they believed in the immortality of the soul. For them, death was simply a doorway to a new life, where the soul would live in eternal happiness and peace, as long as they had lived a just and virtuous life on earth. But how can the soul make this journey? And what challenges or dangers does the soul face on the way to the afterlife? These questions were answered by the Egyptians through complex rituals and colorful myths. Ancient Egypt, a civilization that existed and flourished on the banks of the Nile for more than 3,000 years, always carried within it unpredictable mysteries about life, death, and the deep connection between the present world and the afterlife. The tombs of the pharaohs, the final resting places of great kings, are eternal symbols of the power, beliefs, and pride of the ancient Egyptians. But beneath the giant stone blocks and intricately carved walls, there are also deep secrets that have never been revealed, related to death, reincarnation, and the journey of the soul through mysterious worlds. In this video, we will not only explore the pharaohs' tombs from an architectural or cultural perspective, but also delve into the mysteries surrounding the afterlife of ancient Egyptians. From complex rituals, mysterious curses, to unanswered questions about the existence of the afterlife, we will explore and analyze each aspect and each hypothesis together. Are these tombs just great architectural works, or are they the key to unlocking greater mysteries related to the true meaning of death and rebirth? Let's explore. 1. Pharaoh tombs, symbols of power and spirituality. A simple but meaningful question. Why did the ancient Egyptians invest so much effort, resources, and time into building huge tombs for the pharaohs? The answer lies not only in demonstrating the king's power or wealth, but also closely related to their spiritual beliefs. For the Egyptians, the pharaohs were not only kings who ruled on earth, but also gods who would continue to exist and rule in the afterlife. Therefore, building tombs was not simply a preparation for death, but also preparation for a new, eternal life. These tombs, from the Great Pyramid of Giza to the tombs in the Valley of the Kings, were designed to protect the pharaoh's soul on its journey to the afterlife. They were structures that showed the people's respect and worship for the king, but at the same time, they were places to perform mystical rituals to ensure the peace and prosperity of the kingdom in the future. The architecture of the pharaonic tombs is not only a masterpiece of engineering and art, but also contains deep spiritual meanings. Every detail, every wall, every corridor in the tombs has a certain purpose, related to beliefs about death and rebirth. For example, the Great Pyramid of Giza, with its unique shape, is said to represent a strip of sunlight, helping the pharaoh's soul climb into the sky and join the gods. The corridors inside the pyramids are often designed to reflect the journey of the soul through different stages of the afterlife, from leaving the body to being reborn and joining the gods. The carvings on the walls, ranging from scenes of everyday life to images of gods and monsters, were not just decorations, but also mythological stories told to help the pharaoh's soul overcome the challenges of its journey to the afterlife. But why did the Egyptians believe that protecting the body and decorating the tombs in this way could help the soul achieve immortality? And did these rituals really work as they believed? These are questions that open a door for us to understand more about the beliefs and philosophies of ancient Egyptians. The ancient Egyptians believed that immortality was not just a spiritual concept but also an existential truth. They believed that the body and soul were intimately connected, and for the soul to reach eternity, the body needed to be preserved intact. It is for this reason that the process of mummification and body preservation became a sacred religious ritual. Over the centuries, The Egyptians developed a perfect art of preserving the body from decay, believing that if the body remained intact, the soul would be able to continue its journey to the afterlife. The elaborately decorated tombs, filled with paintings and inscriptions about the life of the deceased, were not only a tribute but also a way to guide the soul. Images of the dead being resurrected, meeting the gods, facing challenges in the underworld were all intended to help the soul overcome that arduous journey. All of this reflected the strong belief of the Egyptians in an afterlife where actions on earth determined eternity. But did these rituals really bring immortality? This is a complicated question. From a modern scientific perspective, preserving the body is only a physical process, and the soul is a supernatural concept that is difficult to prove. But for the ancient Egyptians, all this was not just belief but fact. They believed that immortality was not measured by time but by continuing to exist in eternity. We may not have concrete evidence that their souls actually achieved immortality, but these rituals and beliefs continue to live on, not just in tombs, but in human memory. Perhaps, in their cultural, philosophical, and religious sense, the Egyptians did indeed achieve a different kind of immortality, a historical immortality, and a timeless presence through the art, architecture, and culture they left behind. 2. The mystery of death and life. After death, in the view of the ancient Egyptians, was not an end, but a journey, a transition from the present world to another world, the world of eternity. But why did they have this concept? What motivated them to believe that life continued after death? To answer this question, we need to look back at the Egyptian beliefs and philosophies about life and death. The Egyptians believed that humans had two main parts, Ka and Ba. Ka was the physical part, the life force, while Ba was the soul, the unique self of each person. After death, Ka and Ba would separate, but both needed to exist and reunite so that the soul could continue to live in the afterlife. One of the main reasons why the ancient Egyptians viewed death as a journey was because they believed in the immortality of the soul. For them, death was simply a gateway to a new life where the soul would live in eternal happiness and peace, provided that they had lived a righteous and virtuous life on earth. But how did the soul make this journey? And what challenges or dangers did the soul face on its way to the afterlife? These questions were answered by the Egyptians through elaborate rituals and colorful myths. The soul's journey after death was a long and challenging one, described in detail in Egyptian religious texts such as the Book of the Dead. This journey was not only an adventure but also a test, where the soul had to prove its purity and righteousness before the gods. After leaving the body, the soul is led to a court where Osiris, the god of death and rebirth, will judge the soul. The soul will face a series of challenges, from confronting terrifying monsters to overcoming dangerous traps. Each challenge is part of a test to determine whether the soul is worthy enough to enter the world of the dead. One of the most important rituals during this journey is the weighing of the heart ceremony. The heart of the deceased is placed on a scale, and its counterweight is the feather of Ma'at, a symbol of justice and order. If the heart is lighter than or equal to the feather, it means the soul has lived a just life and will be allowed to enter the afterlife. But if the heart is heavier, the soul will be destroyed by the monster Ammon, a terrifying creature with the head of a crocodile, the body of a lion, and the tail of a hippopotamus. But why did the Egyptians believe in these trials and rituals? Were they truly mystical rituals, or were they simply ways for the Egyptians to cope with their fear of death? And is there any evidence that these rituals help the soul achieve immortality? These questions remain mysteries for us to explore. In the ancient Egyptian view, the tomb was not only a resting place for the body, but also a gateway to the soul's afterlife. But why did they believe that the tomb played such an important role in the soul's journey? The answer lies in the fact that the tomb was considered a miniature version of the universe, a place where all the elements necessary for the soul's rebirth were carefully arranged. From the colorful wall carvings depicting the journey of the soul, to the artifacts buried with the deceased to aid them in the afterlife, everything was designed to ensure that the soul would have everything it needed to continue living after death. The tombs were also the sites of important rituals, such as the opening of the mouth ceremony, a ceremony that was meant to revive the deceased and allow them to continue eating, drinking, and breathing in the afterlife. But were these rituals really necessary, or were they just symbolic? And is there any evidence that these rituals help the soul achieve immortality? These questions not only help us better understand the beliefs of the ancient Egyptians, but also open up new challenges in research and exploration of mysteries that have yet to be solved. 3. Curses and unsolved mysteries. The curse of the Pharaoh's tombs is one of the most controversial stories in ancient Egyptian history. Is there really a supernatural force protecting these tombs, or is it all just a coincidence? The mysterious deaths and disasters that have befallen those who have violated the tombs have raised many theories and questions. One of the most famous stories is the curse of Tutankhamun's tomb. After the tomb was excavated in 1922, many members of the archaeological team encountered strange disasters, from sudden deaths to unexpected accidents. But are these disasters really related to an ancient curse, or are they just coincidences? To answer this question, we need to carefully examine the evidence and analyze it from a scientific perspective. Some researchers believe that the curse is actually the result of natural factors such as bacteria or mold found in tombs, which can cause infections and lead to death. However, this still does not explain all cases, and the curse of the Pharaoh's tombs remains an unsolved mystery. But why did this curse exist and remain etched in the minds of generations? Did the ancient Egyptians truly believe in the power of these curses, or were they just precautions to protect the tombs from desecration? And is there any evidence that these curses actually had the consequences that people believed? One of the biggest mysteries surrounding the Pharaoh's tombs is their mysterious deaths. Why did so many pharaohs die so young, and was there any reason behind these deaths? These questions have led to many theories and studies, but so far, there has been no satisfactory answer. For example, the death of Tutankhamun is one of the most mysterious cases. The young king died at the age of 19, and the cause of his death is still a subject of debate. Some studies suggest that he may have died from an injury, while others suggest that he may have been murdered. But is there any evidence to support these theories, or are they just speculations? Another question is why the Egyptians kept the cause of death of the pharaohs hidden in their texts and rituals. Did they have something to hide, or was it just part of the belief in reincarnation and life after death? These questions not only open up new challenges for the study of pharaonic tombs, but also require us to rethink how we understand life and death in ancient Egyptian society. In addition to curses and mysterious deaths, there are many other unanswered questions surrounding pharaonic tombs. For example, why were so many tombs abandoned or left unfinished? Was there any reason why the Egyptians abandoned these great works, or was this simply a result of historical and political upheavals? Another question is why so many tombs contain precious artifacts that were not properly protected. Did the Egyptians truly believe that the gods would protect these treasures, or did they simply not care to protect them? Finally, a big question we need to consider is whether there are more pharaonic tombs that have yet to be discovered. With modern technology, can we find new tombs and discover new secrets about the lives and deaths of the pharaohs? 4. New theories and research. With the advancement of science and technology, many new theories have been put forward to explain the deaths of the pharaohs. One of the latest theories is that the pharaohs may have died due to genetic diseases or other health problems. For example, a recent study has suggested that Tutankhamun may have suffered from some genetic disease, which may have contributed to his death. But are these theories really credible? Can they fully explain the mysteries surrounding the deaths of the pharaohs, or are they just part of a bigger picture? Another theory is that the pharaohs may have died due to political intrigue or internal conflicts. Given their absolute power, it is not difficult to imagine that the pharaohs may have become the target of their enemies or those who wanted to overthrow them. But is there any evidence to support these theories, or are they just speculation? These new theories not only open up new avenues of research, but also help us better understand the challenges and dangers that the pharaohs faced during their lives. The curse of the pharaohs' tombs remains one of the greatest mysteries of ancient Egypt, and much research has been done to try to decipher this curse. Some studies have suggested that the curse may simply have been a way for the ancient Egyptians to protect their tombs from intruders. But is this really true, or does the curse contain supernatural elements that we don't yet understand? Other research has suggested that the curse may involve natural elements, such as bacteria or mold, that could cause infections or other health problems for those who violate the tombs. But can this fully explain the mysterious cases that have occurred throughout history, or should we consider other factors, such as coincidence or psychology? Finally, one of the most fascinating things about the pharaohs' tombs is how much we still don't know about them. Every year, archaeologists and researchers continue to discover new tombs and new secrets, opening new doors for us to better understand the lives and deaths of the pharaohs. For example, a recent discovery has shown that many tombs may have been violated very early, possibly soon after they were completed. This has raised new questions about the protection and maintenance of tombs, as well as about the dangers that the pharaohs faced even after death. These discoveries not only help us better understand the pharaonic tombs, but also open up new lines of research, from using modern technology to explore new tombs, to studying the psychological and social factors related to death and the afterlife in ancient Egyptian society. The journey to explore the pharaonic tombs has taken us through many stories and hypotheses, from mysterious curses to strange deaths, from new scientific studies to promising archaeological discoveries. But the most important thing we can draw from this journey is the complexity and diversity of ancient Egyptian beliefs, culture, and life. The pharaonic tombs are not only great architectural works, but also symbols of a civilization that has existed for thousands of years, a civilization where life and death were closely linked. While we may never fully understand the mysteries surrounding these tombs, they continue to excite human imagination and curiosity, as a testament to the power and everlasting mystery of ancient Egyptian civilization. And it is from these unsolved mysteries that we can see that no matter how much time passes, the pharaohs' tombs will continue to exist as immortal symbols of a civilization that left a deep mark on human history.